So get into kind of our main, or one of our main topics today. So I did a little research, and it's brief research. So if I need to do some, you know, additional research eventually, after this at least, I can. So I got to this part. I want to refer to a case. I want to kind of give you background. It was about 1992, and it was Two Live Crew versus the 11th Circuit Court, Navarro, I
I was in
believe.
eighth grade.
Yeah, 1992, eighth. Yeah, I was right behind you in the grade level right there. I was right, yeah, somewhere. So 92. All right, put yourself in the time. All right. It was so the case was uh, it was a claim that Two Lives Crew music, Uncle Luke and his partners then, uh, was the 11th Circuit Court tried to claim that their music was obscene. So it was trying to pull that music off the shelves, not allowing it to be produced around or shared around or concerts. I think it affected their concerts too. And their album sales. Two Live Crew's view was that it was art, that it was part of the music, and essentially it was their First Amendment right. So they went to court for that. And that was in '92. It was initially ruled, I believe, a ruling in favor of the 11th Circuit Court. So that was saying that their music was obscene. However, I believe it was appealed, and then it eventually ruled in favor of Two Live Crew. And what that was essentially, that was a mark in musical history that really pressed and cemented freedom of speech in music. And that was something that could kind of pivot from that point on, from 92 on. It was always, free speech in music, but it wasn't necessarily pushed. The envelope wasn't pushed until, I guess, around this point. And it might have been before, but who knows. So to go in that case, and then they had to, and I wanted to discuss this part too. So in order for it to be deemed obscene, they had to go back to refer. It was like some guy in, I believe, 1972, and last name was Miller. And what the Two Lives Crew case pivoted off on, and what it was based on, was a ruling that was done in California, and it was Miller versus California, the state of California. And this guy Miller, I forget his first name now, but basically he kind of did some explicit and obscene work, but it was more within art, and with it had some political ties and mail outs that he would mail, but it was deemed then, or ruled then, that his music or that his art or whatever it was at the time was deemed obscene. In order for it to be pushed, for future rulings and future cases, it had to have a test, and there was a test created, or a scale created, to address future cases. So it was a Miller test, and I wanted to kind of point out some things. So it had to fit three criteria, and the criteria was, I don't know if I have it now, but the criteria basically. Yeah, so it was a 3-pronged test, and one, if it fit any of these points or prongs, whatever it was, then it would be deemed obscene. So it was the 3-pronged test, and it's quote, the 3-pronged test focuses on whether the work as a whole, under contemporary community standards, 1, appeals to a prurient or shameful interest in sex. 2, depicts sexual materials in a patently offensive way. And then 3, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. And it wasn't proven in the appeal that Two Lives Crew, any of their music, fell into that category, because, again, as we stated earlier, art is subjective.
Yep.
So then it was, yay, victory, Two Live Crew, Uncle Luke, set that part in history. Yeah, we won musically. But I want to ask you, in the case of Two Live Crew and that ruling against, the court, do you think musically, to circle back, do you think that was a victory ultimately, or a loss?
Victory or loss, I'm still stand on. It's hate been do that, but I'm on both sides, because it's a victory and it's a loss.
Okay.
Yeah, because victory because True Live Crew, they ain't hurt nobody. This is just art. Like let my people do their art, and
Yeah.
I'm glad because Black Man, went up there and did his thing. Like good job. Like
Yeah.
congratulations. It open the door for a lot of us to continue to do what we were doing and actually make a career out of like music. Help some communities out, some people, and then, and
Yeah.
then like it was a good thing because art shouldn't like it shouldn't be you know what suppressed,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
but
absolutely.
it should not be suppressed. But at the same time, it does need some kind of
Some
some
barriers
some kind
almost.
of
Some
barrier,
type of
some
barrier.
kind of barrier, because like you let people loose, and people
Mm.
going to show you who they are, and
Mm.
some of the stuff you don't want to see, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But I understand you. Like, yeah, art is subjective. You might love it, but it might detest. I might detest it. Like it's like, ugh, like why you even have this out? And I had no say so in the matter,
Mm.
type thing. So that's what I guess the sticker come in. But at the same time, it was a kind of a bad thing because
So the victory part,
the
I want
victory
to
part.
highlight. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what you just mentioned, the victory. So what it had elements of a victory
yeah, it had
because
elements of victory because we came up. Like a lot
yeah.
of people, won, like literally won, not just from the case, but like won from this. Like
Yeah.
they won financially,
Creatively. Yeah.
creatively,
Yeah.
socially, because
Socially
you
too.
were outcast for a while
Hmm.
because you make this, you know,
Type. Yeah.
this type of music, but now they said it's fine as long as you label it as what it is.
Hmm.
Now you're not looked down upon as much. You still are because you know how the people are,
Okay.
but
Mm.
but it's a victory. It's a full fledged victory.
All right. I mean, and I can honestly, man, and I totally get it. I think it really there is elements of a victory in there. Now let's get to
But
the.
antagonist.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes alone is the devil's advocate right here, but it's not really not. It's kind of the, the positive advocate in this sense. Um, Speak on how that case may have been, and it's not probably not the only one in history, but how
Oh,
this
of
particular,
course.
you know what I mean?
How
But
could they
how
co-
so I don't want to just say this is it, but it was truly a turning point for hip hop and rap music. So I don't even, or music in general.
Yeah.
That's not only want to put it or just confine it to that, but I would like to speak on just the loss. How do we see this case as a loss now?
No, it's also a loss because I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, art
Mm-hmm.
is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't do art; they just do some. What can I say?
Like smut.
Yeah, I would say
You can
fuckery.
say what?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say fuckery.
Oh, you can do
Like,
that's fine. Go
like
ahead.
some people, they literally just do fuckery. Like they just
Mm.
go out there and just do whatever for likes or because it's trash,
Yeah.
and people are gonna gravitate to it because it's horrible. But
Mm.
you want it to be horrible
Yeah. Yeah.
because horrible, like some
Horrible sales
horrible
too.
sales
Horrible
too,
sales too.
and
We're
that's
not gonna pretend like it doesn't.
it does. Like, and it's, like I said, you made room for the bullshit to get in.
Mm.
Like, but it's always gonna be there. But
Mm.
it made a little bit more wiggling room for them, so they can actually become,
Almost the same. It
yeah,
brought it up to the
yeah.
same level. So bullshit used to be a little bit
Yeah,
lower
look,
on the
like
totem.
we can show,
Yeah.
we can tell you what bullshit
Yeah,
is.
that's a little bit down
Yeah,
there.
but
now
now,
it's like shoulder to shoulder.
yeah,
We're
shoulders
peers. My
at
music,
one point,
yeah,
bullshit ran this shit.
yeah, yeah. Like my music is
Yeah,
just as good as yours.
it's
It's kind of like
it's not.
for the true music
Yeah,
lover, we knew like,
yeah.
but it's kind of strange to say that, as someone who loves now you can figure this out yourself when I describe it, but someone who loves the pure music. And it's kind of weird to, when someone, comes in and say, well, all music is, music is music. And it's kind of not.
It's
though.
not.
It's not though. If you listen to the quality and the message and even break it down to the inflections of the
Yeah.
words and everything, when something's true. Like you can hear some music and say, you know what? I like believe that. I feel that. That's
Right.
everything as far, but as opposed to just some, as you would say, fuckery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no other way to really put that. But as opposed to that, you have to really just you just, again, it's like how we describe vibe. It's just something that you just have to feel and
Yeah.
understand yourself. You just can't really put in the category.
Yeah.
But I see how on that element of a loss, how it could be when others are really not really respecting
They're not
the
respect.
craft.
That's what it is. It's the respect. Like they don't respect the art.
Yeah.
Like some people that's in it still don't respect the art. You know, it's hard enough to trying to show the people on the outside that it actually is art, but to have somebody actually doing it and just fucking around, it's like that's real disrespectful, and it's like that's what kind of piss you off about. Like, damn, you shouldn't let these niggas in.
Yeah, they just can't let anybody in. Come on now, y'all just letting anybody in.
Yeah, but at the same time, they guess they feeding their family type shit.
Look, man, you just stopped on that for a moment. We just can't all saying I'm feeding my family. Like, when are you gonna stop?
Yeah,
that's like I feel like, I was out, I was on the block, and I was feeding my family, like, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing this whole idea and the view and the image, but. Everything is not to be justified to feeding your family.
But at the same time, at one point you gotta be grown about it. Like you gotta understand, like, hey, I am just fucking around. Like be honest, like I'm just fucking around. I ain't trying to do this shit for real. Some people actually said that. Like some people say, shit, I ain't no rapper. Shit, I'm just trying to get some money.
Yeah,
which I respect. Thank you.
You was honest,
well, thanks for letting me know that because I ain't listen to your music anyway. But
but you absolutely. I mean, that's. But you can't respect that when somebody's like straight up, straight up like that because it's needed to be said. Go ahead.
Now, if you think that you hardcore doing this shit and you ABCing it, and like, come on, man. Like
that's what the disrespect.
That's disrespectful. Like you should be smart enough to know that you trash. Like, come on, man.
And you talking about the ABC type rhymes?
Yeah, type rhymes. Like art is art. But there's levels to this thing. Like you have Basquiat, and you got your 5th grade nephew.
Yeah,
oh man, you drew that nice Superman for me, man. Think we'll put this on the refrigerator, but we cannot sell this in a museum anywhere.
Put that in the special filing cabinet. Where's that trash can? But no, and also, and I like you said, 5th grade nephew just maybe pop up, or that guy who just buys a bucket of paint and the canvas and say, I'm an artist. Yeah. I can go to Michael's right now or whatever the Hobby Lobby. I can just buy a canvas and I can get some paint and I'm an artist. And again, it's subjective because you're dealing with the view in your mind from this and that. But it all, I think, boils down to your intention.
Right.
Like, what is your intention? Are you trying to add to the art world, add a view, or is it simply you just do it because you can? Because we all have the tools. If you know what I mean, you want to make an album today,
I can do it right now.
You know what I mean?
Now.
We have the tools, the technology. It's just, is it? What's your intentions? What are you trying to do? You trying to add the music? Are you, in one with it, or you just, say that, I'm gonna just do it just because
you in for the fuckery?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Look, you just adding it on to it. I told you, absolutely correct, man. It's a perfect way to put it because. You see it, but you can't quite, and I'll be honest, can't quite describe it, but that's a way to, to put that. So losses, I'm going to, refer back to the case in the Two Live Crew versus Navarro in 1992, that case where that ruled that Two Live Crew was ultimately falling in the lines of freedom of speech. So they won that case and they were able to distribute their music. Had several, big time hits and was, famous, ran especially the South and in Miami. But we had, the offspring of that. And I think that even the messages that are put out, what's weird is because, it's, and I'll say this on how we even play our music. Because I'll say ours because I play, several parts of it. Or several songs and albums and played it forever. Just the music that falls, they may fall into something that's being obscene. I listened to it. The older I got, I had to be mindful.
I know. We had some pretty.
It's an addiction, man. It's when they talk about the influence on music, this is real. So I want to speak about the Elva. I don't want to just say they make the music. Whoever listens to this music, no, I. Listen, and I'll be honest, I had to be mindful and kind of cut back and take away and be more restrictive. And I've done that for a while about what I let, come to in my ears and across my eyes.
Right.
Because it does, as we spoke about, it does have
Programming.
this influence. It does. You
Yeah.
absolutely. Now you can listen to it, as older and more sure of yourself to say, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I'm not going out doing it. I know that. It's kind of like the
Right.
jokes and reels on you see online people at their cubicle and they like, oh, I'm talking about selling drugs and this and that,
Yeah,
but they know, damn well they ain't gonna do that. So it's just, but it does have that does have that element of influence. But I want to, where was I going with this? I want to kind of just discuss more or expound more. What was I saying? I'm going to loop back
He's
to
on
that.
the loss.
Yeah, on the loss, and I was on the loss, but it was, I just feel like it was more on the approach. So we have to be mindful of what we, the intake of music, but the approach. Because I feel like, and we discussed this last time in our conversation, it was that Trojan horse approach, and it was more so, Romans, however it was, they received the Trojan horse, like, yay, a gift. But then out came the enemies and slaughtered them in the night.
That's kind of what that case was. It's a Trojan horse because it was beautiful, sparkly. The win was great. We won.
Gift.
Like we
A
did
gift.
this. Like we did this, and we were proud of it because it was big. It was huge.
Yeah.
But again, it's by perspective again. Like when you zoom out and you see how it looks from the
when the dust settles.
When the dust settles,
you like, so what did we win again? What is this tangible object that we won? And they say you can get to say anything you want on the record. You can say anything.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is.
But that's crazy part because the people who won that case, they were really trying to do some art type stuff. Like in that era, like for the most part, it's always fuckery. Yeah. But for the most part, that was the forefront people. They were actually trying to like do art.
Absolutely, wholeheartedly. Yeah.
But the powers that be knew that, you know what, because they think the long game.
So say this one statement: reverse psychology. Yeah, you think okay?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say they're like, because it was almost like a setup.
Yeah,
in a sense, at least on saying that.
You know
what I mean? Yeah, you got me on this one.
Yeah,
all right,
we lost,
all right. Hands up, white flag. Go ahead.
You won.
Yeah, go ahead. Rap music, hip hop, music in general. You get a chance to do whatever. No creative boundaries.
But from that point. It's like, V from Vendetta, the movie.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Oh, okay. We gave you this, but guess what? We got some attached to this. We put a bug on this case. Meaning we're gonna pretty much take over this thing. We already run everything. So we're gonna go ahead and take over this thing and we're gonna plan like I said, they got long sight. We short sighted, that was great.
Yeah.
In the long games, like, they got us because they knew that what they were gonna do. Yeah. So I know what I can do with this music now. Yeah. So we're gonna bring our fuckery game. Right?
But they will know. And by the time we do catch on stuff, it's probably like 10, 15.
Too late. It's too late.
Generation of too late.
Like I tell people, like everyone do like mantras in their what's called those words of affirmation in the mornings. Getting yourself together. I am great. I'm gonna be great. All those great things that you say, and you say them over and over again because what? You're trying to manifest. You're trying to convince your body, your universe to do these things. But you sing some of these songs, it's the same thing.
Yep.
And some of them are on repeat. So you saying the same thing over and over again. You might be saying some crazy shit. Which going back, being an adult, I always go look at movies, listen to music, with my adult eyes and adult ears and brain. And it's like, wow, we were really looking at this as a kid. Like I shouldn't have been looking at this as a kid. I shouldn't have been listening to this as a kid. Yeah, but like I said, with that whole mantra and thing, like you're literally saying the mantra, especially some of these crazy things. So so that's like I said, that's part of the it's not really a loss, but it's just the negative of that come about of that.
Yeah, the negative. I'd say all right. That's a good way to put it.
That came about of that case. Yeah,
because any situation, any vote, any hearing, any whatever it is, there's still some like negative parts to that. So
you gotta be yin yang.
Yeah. I get it. So that question was kind of just so simply, I just wanted to kind of broad because you think about it and you're like, I won't want this message. You know, it's always you refer to the kids and the next generation. You're like, I won't want this message delivered to any kids, any younger kids. So why am I accepting it as an adult? And I know
Yeah.
certain things, you know, they say things like stay in a child's place
Yeah.
and you know, things like, but you're just like, well, why are we doing it in the first place? And you kind of get to a certain mind frame, or me at least, I got to saying, well, why do we have these options in the first place?
Yeah.
But I see where if we had restrictions on it too much, now you're, you know,
Now you're restraining.
yeah,
it.
now you're
like,
saying,
hey,
I can't think outside the box, even though as a progressive person or a thinker, and you're trying to think about getting things better, and a lot of people may say, well, no, we all agreed to that they were already better now, so we can't get them anymore. So now you don't want to put the restrictions on it. And then, speaking of the word subjective, everyone's good. And part of good,
What is
everything
good?
is just different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Oh, you know, that's good. Or this is for the good of music or the good of the world. And we all know, you know, we can say the good of the world. We can go do humanitarian efforts. And then the good of the world sometimes looks like war.
Right.
You know what I mean? With
Right.
this, we got stations, you know, in every country, you know, United States.
Yeah.
This is for the good of the world. And again, okay.
So
And then again, okay. You
Yeah,
know, you're
so
looking on your shoulders and
good is giving and taking.
yeah, good. Yeah. So that's the way. In the end, I understood that. You know what? There's no final answer to this for me, but I love to hear the conversation with it because, you know, because it just kind of gives you a different view of things. So yeah,
But that's
go ahead.
perspective, man. Perspective. It's all about perspective.
Yeah, man. So I just it was just something, man. I wanted, you know, I want us to do better as people. But I say, you know, evolution, it travels and you know, it goes so slow that you never quite understand the seed you may plant today and how, you know, if it's a, you know, a step in the right direction, how it might look in 20 years because it goes so slow. So you going an hour by hour, day by day, what you know, considering 20 years worth of, you know, so it never quite looks like it's improving. But I don't know. I just say, you know, the mantra, whatever it is, or the saying, treat others how you want to be treated, which again can be broad because some people, you don't have value for yourself.
Exactly.
You might not mind if someone treats you a certain way. So, but that goal, that's in a, I won't say different direction, but a different point. But yeah, I mean, this is my brief music talk because, you know, again, we chat music all day, but we're going to roll into some more music and we'll take a brief break. But I did want to delve into that. So I think this conversation about this was excellent. So I want to get into